GPVWC 2020 is go!
Hello everybody and welcome to the 5th round here in Baku of the 2020 GPVWC Formula Challenge season. I'm here joined by David Carter. David, how are you doing?
Hello everybody, I'm doing great, thanks this evening. Looking forward to another great evening's action of Formula Challenge once again in the streets of Baku, and as I see now, qualifying has just started.
Yeah, it has, and it's going to be a very interesting qualifying, as I think Slipstream will play a pretty big part here. But then again, I don't think everyone's going to do it. So I think if you're going to go for a Slipstream here with your teammate, if you've planned it out correctly, you're going to have a big advantage in that last sector.
Yeah, it's going to be key, and I think teamwork makes a dream work around Baku, particularly down that front straight. So some teams would have prepared for that, other teams probably wouldn't have done with respect to them. So we're going to see how it all fans out after everyone just leaving the pits. It's going to get very, very busy indeed. So people are just going to be sitting their banker laps in for the time being, but nice and dry at least. So the challenge is maybe a little bit easier because of that. I knew rain was expected a couple of days ago, but nice and dry for the time being. So it's going to be a cracking session, fingers crossed.
Somebody's actually already gone down the escape road at the castle section. That's Tom Vos, who's doing a nice little donut. Gets back onto the field. He had to wait for everyone to go through because he was one of the first out of the pits and made a mistake and had to return and wait a long time. But he's back on track. All drivers now around the last sector, so we're gonna see the hot laps. They're already on the straight, so hot laps are gonna be started here.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting stuff, and it's really important around Baku to set a banker lap early on in the session, because at any time in the session you could be a yellow flag or someone crashing, blocking the track, for example, as well. So they're going to have to get on with it very, very early here in this 50-minute session. Yeah,
and Amari has looked very fast. He's been improving every race so far, and in the practice session he was third, which would, if he qualifies there, I'm pretty sure be his best qualifying session of the season. And I'm sure he'd love to qualify there. Martin Hemmingson has also looked very fast, as she usually does. Talking about fast people, Sven de Vries is in the server. I'm just blind, he's just starting his lap now. But I'm interested in seeing Martin Hemmingson here. He's on his flying lap at the moment, but it's actually quite close. He gets the slipstream, but he might also get a dirty air here from the car in front.
Can do. I'll tell you, the man I think to look out for here was the pole set from last year, Martin Hemmingson. He's been looking absolutely rapid all through practice, and even in the last qualifiers, he actually makes contact with Morado there, and Morado goes into the wall. But Martin Hemmingson, the man to beat here. Last year, he beat his teammate by 10th of a second, which was David Cooper on that day from Elsewhere, but from the next car, it was 0.6 of a second. So Martin definitely knows how to get around this circuit very, very quickly indeed. And I expect everyone wants to challenge me for the pole. You know, everyone wants to put a name against Martin Hemmingson, then feel free to challenge me. I'll put a 5 on anyone that Martin will get the pole here today.
Well, he beat him by a 10th, David Cooper, last year. David Cooper is also a very good qualifier. So that's very impressive. But yeah, Martin has definitely been the man to beat, together with Sven de Vries, obviously. But I'm very curious to see what Sven can do, because Martin's very good around here, but we don't really know. Well, we kind of do know what Sven is capable of here. I think he did Super League Lights last year here, and he did actually qualify very high up and do very well. But I don't think we know what he can do in FC car around here, but we know he's been very fast all year. As we get the first couple of laps in, Guillaume Brenton gets P1, also be very good this year. gets a 51.4 in, which is, I think, about 6/10 off what Martin Hemmingsen did in practice. Martin Hemmingsen himself, a 51.7 after that contact, still gets him to P2. That just shows how fast he is, really.
A man to look out for here today is a newcomer to GPVWC. It's a warm welcome to him as well. Chris Riswood, who's signed for Valley Esports. Friends with Daniel Brewer and Lewis Bickers in real life, I believe, and they've been working together to get this FC car and the team forward up the grid, and he's been looking really, really strong in practice as well. He's just come across the line, I think, for a second, or his first time lap actually, and he is set purple sectors in the first two. Is he going to come across the line now to set provisional pole position? Yes, he does. Just about from Guillaume Brenton as well. This is a man to watch out for and might prove to be a dark horse for race wins here as well, and might be upsetting the likes of Martin Hemmingsen and Sven de Vries for race victories.
Yeah, he's looked very good. I just want to point out, Justin Meister, currently P11, he had the fastest Sector 3 time, which is not so much about actual speed as much as it is about slipstream. He got the slipstream of someone completely different, Jack Nichols, who's actually, interestingly enough, making his return to GPVWC if you discount the Academy Series. But this is his first, his last of series was actually in the Austrian Grand Prix in 2014. So about 6 years later, and he's back in Formula Challenge. Was pretty good in Academy, so I'm interested to see what he can do in Formula Challenge.
Yeah, it'd be really good to see him in a proper competitive field after so long away. And I believe it was 2013 in Monaco. He actually got a podium there as well. So he's not short speed. Is Jack Nichols? It's just putting the practice in and getting it all together is going to be the challenge here today. But doing a great job to get into the field after some solid Academy Series races in the past 3 rounds. Just running through the top 10. Patrick Rosak now takes provisional pole, 51.0. Expecting that time to come down a little bit, but he got the slipstream actually from his teammate Branton as well. So RBA are definitely working together here today. So it's Rosak from Bristol, from Branton, Dan Hurlock, from David Serra, Martin Hemmingsen, Sven de Vries in 7th, Thomas Harvey in 8th, Isaac Morris in 9th, and Luca Flask rounding at the top 10.
Martin Hemmingsen in his in-lap, I said this right this time. I was confused out lap and in-lap and overcar and undercar, but this time I said it right. In his in-lap, he did a first sector that's 9/10 faster than his previous lap, because he obviously collided with Enamorado, sorry.
Yeah.
So that just shows he can go at least 9/10 quicker, which already puts him on provisional pole. Probably a mistake. He didn't have clean air at all. Should have let a bit more space. It's a big track, so space is not the issue here. As almost all drivers are currently on their outlap and about to start another lap.
Yeah, so it's going to be a real topsy-turvy session, because you could see some guys really struggling to get up. That's a yellow flag actually going towards the castle section. That looks like it's cleared up now. So Murray Watson and Justin Meister go through there as well. But yeah, it could be a very topsy-turvy session regarding trying to get a clean lap in. Making mistakes is very easy here, of course. A driver who actually did really well here last year as well in qualifying and race 1 was Rick Van Dorn for ISIMRS at the time, and that was their only really, his and the team's only really success of last year. So you could see from that a few surprise names up in that sort of front half of the field.
Yeah, and I think we've already seen a few guys who are doing quite well so far. David Serra, for example, P5, 51.7 at the moment, 9 thousandths in front of Hemmingsen, but to be fair, that's probably going to change very soon as Martin just starts his lap. And well, let's see if he can do another purple sector like he did in his in-lap.
And so this part of track, very, very important to get the braking zone exactly right and trying to get the angle off the corner perfect as well to get a great drive down this back straight or out turn 2. And get that DRS open, then picking out a braking point here. Obviously, you've got the marker boards on the right hand side to help you. Brakes about 80 meters before the corner. It's a nice drive out of turn 3, and into then very quickly approaching turn 4, the right hander. And again, it's these 90-degree corners that can look simple enough on camera, but trust me, they are very difficult to judge properly. They're out of 5 and 6. Tricky looks again, and there we go. He's already improving. Looking like he's improving his lap time up into the hairpin corner of turn 7, and he's already up on Patrick Rosak's time by a 10th and a half or so, going through the castle section. Tight, fiddly, technical part of track. Goes through that section with ease as he now goes down the blast. And this is very, very bumpy down here. It's flat out, but so you got to watch out for the bumps in the roads. We saw Ben Hamlet have a big incident in Super League last year, something he wouldn't have been proud of. Into the very difficult downhill braking zone into this corner. Very easy to hit that wall on the right hand side. We saw Gabriel Solomon hit that in the race with back markers in the Academy Series race, going into the final proper corner of this lap. Now it's all flat out, going down a hill. And say just winding piece of track there, and that's all flat out going towards the line. DRS will open very, very shortly. Where just about there where the whiteboards are. There we go, crosses that. And there we go, blast towards the line.
Great track review there. And he does go into pole 50.8, gets a purple sector 2 and not a purple sector 1, but he still holds the fastest sector 1 himself, which was obviously in his in lap. Now other drivers are improving. David Sura is improving on himself, and Sven de Vries is close on his own time. And Chris Christwood also just put a very good sector 1 in on par with Martin Hemmingsen. So, oh well, he just drifts across that corner. I don't think that's going to be very fast. That's his lap done. He's going to go to the pits and be able to do one more lap. Guillaume Branton also currently in sector 1. And Justin Meister actually gets P6. Very good lap by him.
Yeah, he's looking really, really good here actually today. That's been a bit of a topsy-turvy season for him. He's looking pretty handy so far around the streets of Baku.
Yeah, it really has been. And he didn't even get... Did he get a tow? I just need to check, because his previous time he did get a tow from a completely different car. And he did not really get a tow this time. So that is just P6 without a tow. Great job by him.
Sven de Vries is also on track down in P8 now. He's looked okay so far. He's down in P9 though, which is, again, like in Zandvoort, he struggled at start qualifying and then picked a lap out the bag in the end to put him near the sharp end of the grid. But it could be another situation again where Sven has put himself in a position with under 4 minutes to go, still a little bit of time left, position that he doesn't really want to be in, under pressure. Oh, he's got the championship lead. There he goes into the wall, going into the castle, out the castle section there, and that's his lap ruin. But again, he's got the championship lead, of course, 27 points, so he can afford to take a bit of a hit. But knowing that Martin Hemmingsen at the moment, who's currently in provisional pole, he's going to want to at least keep it in sight for race 1.
Someone to keep our eyes out right now is actually Rozak. He's equaling his own time. He's coming down the straight now. He's currently in P2. Don't think it's going to be enough for P1, but maybe he can improve his time as DRS opens, and this is just a very, very long straight. But there is the finish line, and he does not improve at all, actually, not even close, 4/10 off. But his first sector was very good. Talking about first sectors, again on his in-lap, Martin Hemmingsen just did a 48.4 rather, which was 4/10 faster than his sector 1 in his fastest time.
Yeah,
again on his in-lap.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's definitely got it in him, and I wonder if for this last run, because if you notice so far, his 2 main laps he's done, he hasn't had no slipstream. I wonder if he's going to team up with his teammate for this event at G Tomiyasu. For this event, he's a motorcycle driver for Neptune, as you know that Gabriel Solomon got banned from GPVWC for reasons we won't go into for now. But they've had to get a replacement driver, and Tomiyasu is known to team boss with Viva Carvalho. So sensible choice in the circumstances I get for an emergency drive, but not ideal for the team who's looking to extend their lead at the top of the championship.
Yeah, Tomiyasu did very good in the academy race yesterday, and around Poznan, where he did a one-stop, if memory serves me right. Unfortunately, didn't work out for him, but I think he still got the 5th place there, which is a good result. And his tire wear was definitely one of the best around there. So that's going to be maybe he's going to be good around the later stages of the race. As currently, Frederick Rozak, for example, will not be able to do another lap, as he just doesn't have the time to do that. Martin Hemmingsen will have the time, and so will, I think, most of the others. Actually, Guillaume Branton also doesn't have the time to start another lap, as the tires are probably too much room.
Yeah, he was up on his time actually as well, but understeered off. But I wonder if he's got a fuel for another run here, because Rozak. No. This is interesting. Strategy here from RBA. I think that's going to mess up Rozak's lap as well this time around. He's had to pull over and slow down before the start-finish line. Caneo gets out the way there. So I don't think RBA is going to be any line to improve unless they get super slipstream down the back straight. But again, a mistake there from Rozak out of turn 2. Currently P2 in the standings, of course. It's going to be interesting to see how well the slipstream affects here because he basically lost 4/10 across the start finish line.
I don't know what they're doing, to be fair. Neither of them look to be in a hot lap because they've already done 2 hot laps in a row where they just were 7/10 slower than their lap. And I don't think either of them is going to improve, but they seem to be trying some sort of slipstream. It's looking kind of weird here, but Guion did get that 51.4 in, which is really good, currently P4. But can anyone else challenge Martin Hemmingsen? So far, it doesn't seem like it. But I'm expecting more from Sander Vries, being almost a second down in quali as Martin Hemmingsen just does another 48.4. This means he's 4/10 up on his own time. So we could see utter destruction after this lap of the whole field, as he's already in pole by quite a margin. But everyone else completing their sector ones, nobody really getting close. Omari Watson of P8 does a 48.6, 2/10 off, which could, if he keeps this up, propel him into the top positions. So he's a guy we definitely should look out for as he goes into the final sector right now.
Speaking of destruction, I just noticed that Liam Rant binned it in turn 1 and had one of the Nova cars bin it into him in turn 1. Obviously, people were trying to push really hard on their final attempts. But Martin Hemmingsen now, he's up on his time, going down the straight once again. And is he going to go faster than his current time? It looks very likely he is. He's got the slipstream now. Well, not slipstream, DRS open, I should say. But he crosses the line. He's going to go right into 50.659.
Justin Meister. Justin Meister and Omari Watson. Omari Watson crossed the line first. He's going to improve to a 51.0. And then Justin Meister behind him at 51.3. They propel into 3rd and 5th respectively. Now, who else is going fast? Sven de Vries is on track, but not particularly fast. He's not improved in either of his sector times. So this is not looking to be like a good starting position. Actually, he's improved to sector 1. So maybe there is something to be gained, but it's only by about a 10th.
He's got a big gap, though, to overtake Sam from 8. He's got 2/10 to work with to even make up positions. So it's going to be tough for Sven. But we'll see how he does. Across the line, and he stays 9th. He improves, but stays down in 9th position. Not good for the championship leader. Downwards invitation, the order of the day there.
Last driver, Dan Hutt, P25, is green in both sectors. Where will he jump to? It will be to P18. So nice little jump by Dan Hutt at the end of that session. The only one currently on the lap is David Serra, but he just finished and did improve actually to P7. And that is every driver completing their laps. So Martin Hemmingsen pole 3/10, almost 4/10 of a second. Then Rozak in P2, Amari Watson P3, great qualifying by him. He's surely going to be very happy about that. Then Chris Griswold P4 and Justin Meister also very impressive on P5.
So Griswold will be happy, and I see he's got his fan club in the YouTube chat as well, which is great to see. Yeah, P4 and debut, that's a brilliant job. Someone who hopefully we'll see for the rest of the season as well, to just spice up a little bit and have a different team near the front end of the field. Meister as well, best qualified from him this season, P5. David Serra, I think he's standing for this round instead of the usual driver of Fernandez. So Fernandez, who's P4 in the standings, not here today. Herlock at 8, Sven de Vries, nice. Thomas Harvey doing a good job actually in 10th there. Sam Holt, Mike Bell in 12th, ahead of his race-winning teammate from last time out, Deegan Fairclough. Paul Augustin for Madness there in 14th, and then Isaac Morris rounding up 15 as well. No real shocks and surprises down the order. I'll tell you one team who has not done well, which is HGP. Tom Voss 17th, and stand-in driver Mikhail Tumala, 21st. Swap coach not here today.
Are you sure there's no surprise down the order? Look who's lost. I bet six seconds off.
Tom Parker is he had a grid penalty to take 20 place grid penalty. So probably not taking it so so seriously the qualifying session there, because he was going to go down the order anyway. But warm-up session now starting.
Yeah, people, drivers are going to be able to do some race runs, get a final car feels. We will take a short break here, and we'll be back as soon as possible. Stay tuned for race 1 of Formula Challenge. Hello, everybody. We are back for the first race here in Baku. Currently on the warm-up, 5 minutes remaining. Drivers are still busy on their race runs, and good news for Tom Parker. He's not actually 6 seconds off the pace. David, you were right. He did have that penalty and didn't really try in quali. He's currently doing a race run of 53.6. That's already like 3 seconds faster than he did in quali. So I'm sure he's going to be fine.
Yeah, not so bad. Just speaking of penalty, so Tom Parker's got 20 place grid penalty. Deacon Fairclough's got a back of a grid penalty with 3 extra places on top of that. And then Alejandro Enamorado's got a back of a grid penalty as well. So they're the only 3 drivers to suffer with penalties here today. And it's going to be really spicy. Obviously, opening stages of the race, it's going to be absolute carnage. Potentially, we had the race 2 last year. We had Sandeep Singh go upside down after turn 2. We've had, Super Cup last year, for example, at the start of race 2. That was pretty mad as well. So, just hope everyone stays sensible. But of course, that's easy for us to say in the commentary box.
Yeah, it's that's why I always like Baku. It's so unpredictable. You don't know what's gonna happen. It's not over till it's over. And even it binning it on yourself is so easy around here. If someone bins in the castle section, for example, at 1, that could really cause big issues. I think it happened last year, did it? I can't really remember. I think I recall something like that happening in one of the series.
Yeah.
Where it was just
Super League had a couple of incidents after turn 1, didn't they? With Mad Cape drivers, I believe, if my memory is.
I think it could be. Yeah, I drove them. I should know.
Looking at the standings, actually, it's actually a really big day for both Martin and Sven at the top of the standings, but also for the guys behind in 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, because obviously Wop Coach is not here today, and nor is Elias Fernandez, and they're 3rd and 4th. So the likes of Sam Holt, Daniel Hurlock, Dion Branton, and Amari Watson. Excuse me. Easy for me to say. Tom Voss, for example, they've got a great chance to just boost themselves up the getting close to the guys in 3rd and 4th in the standings as well. So that'll be interesting. I think Wopke's still come out of this round in 3rd place, no doubt about it. He's on 90 points. Elias Fernandez on 72. And you got Sam Holt, Daniel Hurlock, Branton, got 57, 49. So, it's going to be tough work, but that midfield battle in the standings from 5th downwards is so tight and compact. If someone has a great round, they're going to shoot right up the standings. So it's really, really important to score solid points every time.
Yeah, and what about Sven? He's currently qualified 9th, and Martin was about a second per lap faster than him in quali. So that's a big. He needs a 27 point. He has a 27 point lead, Sven. And I think Martin could definitely, maybe even this race, if luck goes his way, close the gap to him because he's just so much faster.
Yeah, obviously, the race is always a tough situation. We've seen in the past, how just one small mistake can ruin your whole day, and then obviously race 2 as well. You've got that all mixed up the grid as well. Just one thing of note as well. If anyone's watching the broadcast today, and from particularly if you're new and you want to get involved in racing at GPVWC, or maybe you want to enter a team or work as staff, for example, as well, feel free to check the GPVWC description below with all the channels, the Discord, the website, the forum, for example, as well. As long as you are Factor 2, you can get your Simracing all installed as well. You can start racing at GPVWC in the Academy Series, and if you do well in that, for example, or if a team signs you up, then you can really start having good fun in these actual series like Formula Challenge, Super Cup, Super League Lights, and Super League as well.
And it's not really just about driving, is it? Team managers, if you are interested and not yet in this league, not this year, I would assume, but next year you can apply a team, and it is, it will be quite likely that you can get your own team in here and manage your own team, which is great fun, and I speak out of experience. So yeah, definitely team managers as well. If you're watching, keep an eye out because GPV is a great place to be.
Yeah. Entries for new teams is normally around sort of October, November time for the following year. So for 2021 applications for Career Ladder, you're probably looking around that sort of time to get in next year. And particularly when you go in the highest series over time, you've got finances to look after, you've got research and development of the car to worry about, you've obviously got contracts with the drivers and everything else. It's really a very in-depth thing to do. It's almost like you take Football Manager, put it onto almost like a motorsport manager aspect as well, just taking it, but involving real people. So it is really good fun. As warm-ups just finished now, and they're just setting up the grids for the race as well.
Yeah, it is absolutely amazing fun. Realistic how the finances are managed. It's just amazing and amazing fun. We're about to head on to the race for the grid. I just hope it gets clean, but on the other hand, some drama is always fun. But then again, you don't really want to see crashes, do you? You want to see clean racing until the end. But I'm just afraid Money's going to run away with it in race 1.
It's going to be difficult. The slipstream is really key here. If he gets to a second gap in the early stages, then it's going to be pretty comfortable for him. But that 1 second gap is so critical around the street track like Baku or Monza later on in the year or Spa.
Yep.
Getting that gap early on, because if you can break that gap away, it's just down to you. But as soon as you've got that DRS and the slipstream, people catch up in the slipstream, that's when you've always got one eye in the mirror. And that can be, it takes one little mistake and they're right behind you. So,
for sure, yeah. For people not aware how this series works, from the challenge, we have 2 races, and both will be 13 laps for this time. And race 2 will have reversed grid. It's a random number that the race director will take between 10 and 15. And let's say, for example, 12, then the top 12 will be reversed, and number 12 in race 1 will start from pole position. So that's definitely going to spice things up in race 2. Faster drivers are going to start down the grid, and they're going to have to find a way through. Drivers with less space, let's say that, because that's usually how it works, unless a driver obviously was unlucky in race 1. But last race, for example, Dingen Verklo got pole in race 2 and just ran away with it, got his first win. So in race 2, there's a lot of opportunities for a lot of drivers who normally in race 1 would be a bit, further down the order, maybe like P10 area.
yeah, I say it's a great opportunity for a driver who's maybe normally in the midfield to get their moment in the limelight and take a great points result as well. Points make price at the end of the day, and if you can be a solid point scorer and aim for sort of top 10 in the championship, if you're on that midfield, that will look particularly when there's a lot of new drivers taking part in this series as well. Great experience going forward, particularly if you want to move up the ladder in the future.
Absolutely is, and we're about to start the formation lap. Let's go down the grid. Martin Hemmingsen on pole, dominant. It's never not looked like he was going to get pole, and he did it. Patrick Rozak, very good qualifying from him. Would say I didn't expect it. He's in P2. Very good job by him. Amari Watson, great qualifying. He's surely going to be very, very excited about this. Let's hope he can convert it to a podium as well for him. Chris Griswold on his debut, P4, great job. Just like Justin Meister, very good job by him as well. Guillaume Brenton in P6. Then there's David Serra behind him with Daniel Hurlock and Sven de Vries disappointingly in P9, as he said himself after qualifying. Thomas Harvey then in P10. Sam Holt, Mike Bell, Carl Ogeslaan in P13 after swapping team. He was originally a Neptune driver. P14 is Isaac Morris with Luca Flosk behind him, and then Tom Voss and Dan Hutt, the Dutchies, right behind him. P18, Riboli with Guilherme Tomiazzi, who did the Academy race, and this is his FC debut as well, if I'm right, for Neptune, P19. Mikael Tuomala, team boss of... Oh, who's that? David, help me out.
Clay Geely.
Thank you. Scuderia Clay Geely, P20. 21, Jack Nichols making his FC, well, not debut, but his Air Factor 2 debut at FC. His last race was Austria 2014, so welcome back to him in P21 with behind him Kuzmierzik. Then P23, Gerrit de Vries. Matteo Bolko behind him with Liam Rens, great first name, P25. Rob Rosa, 26th with Danny Robbins, P27. Scott Sovic behind him. Caneo in P29. Tom Parker with his grip penalty, P30, and so have Verklo, Dingen Verklo, and P31, and behind him, running out the grid, Inamorado.
I tell you what, they're all really spread out. Actually, Enrado's just going through the castle section. Hemmingson's going down the main straight. So they're going to be on the grid for quite a long time, I think. These front-running cars. Important thing to note as well, as we mentioned before, but Game Branton's actually racing on a controller. which is
Yep.
A, really impressive, with B, he has to make these early laps count. I mean, I know Baku's not the highest tyre wear circuit around here, so he's probably got a very good chance of getting a good result here today. But as the race goes on, he's going to be more and more vulnerable to the cars behind him as well, as his pace will deteriorate more being on a controller as well. David Serra, P7 on it. Obviously, he's the reserve driver for Sombic Esports as well, and he's always been quick, but he's still got to do the job. And a good substitute for Elias Fernandez, who's of course not here today.
Yeah, talking about Guillaume on that controller, that is just so impressive. I could not get within a minute of his lap times on a controller. But it does mean automatically you can be the Rudy Van Buren of controller users, but it's just worse than a wheel based on tire wear. So that's an issue he's always going to have. Luckily in FC, that issue is minimized. So let's see how he can do here. As Enamorado lining up at the back of the grid actually misses his grid spot, but reverses, and now he is standing, and all drivers are standing, and the lights are going out on red. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we're off, and it's a good start from Nottingham Mixon, getting away clean, but Amari Watson going very fast around the outside. Can he make this move for P2? He's taking it easy, and he sticks back in P3. Is everyone clean? There's a half spin actually from Daniel Hurlock down the field, but he gets away with it, and so far I think, wow, there's a few accidents at the first straight. Oh, there's an accident actually further back. Liam Ranson spun around. He's in the middle of the track. Oh no, he's not hit anyone else. And a relatively clean start there, I think, David.
Well, Kusmisak didn't move off the line, and he got a hit from Rob Rosa, and actually got punted around and actually took out his teammate Danny Robbins as well. So disaster for Rookie Monsters. They got 2 damaged cars even before turn 1 had even started. So really bad situation for those guys who, let's face it, have had a disastrous season already so far, and now got 2 damaged cars and back to the pits in sector 1.
Yeah, there's fighting going on. P8 Sven de Vries doesn't make the move in the castle section. Bad start, well, not a terrible start, but not an optimal start for Chris Griswood, dropping to P6, which promotes Justin Meister and Guillaume Brandt in that position. So as you said, Guillaume had to make it count in the opening laps, and he's already got 1 position there. Sven de Vries also got 1 position, who's going to be very interesting. I think his race pace is going to be better than his quali pace. So let's see what he can do in this race.
And Danny Robbins is the only car who's gone off at the castle section. Obviously no rear wing. He's going to find it difficult to get back to the pits. But Hemmingson clear up front by about 0.8 of a second. Obviously no DRS in these first couple of laps, so he's just bolting up through the up front. Watson might have a good start in P4. Griswood, the loser, down to 6th position. But everyone a bit spread out for it straight, and everyone seems to be keeping nice and clean. Oh, and a drift there from Dan Hutz going out that last kink in 16th place.
I think P12, P13, P14 is going to be interesting. Yes, Paul August Lahn definitely has a strip seam on Isaac Morris here going down the inside. And I think this is a pretty clean move. Nothing Isaac can do here. And that's a position gained for Paul August Lahn here. No one else really making a move into turn 1 yet. It was a pretty unexpected. I thought it would be a slipstream straight with a lot of passes, but they were actually, as you said, quite spread out indeed.
One thing that's going to put off a few people in these opening couple laps is that Rookie Monster's rear wing down the straight, and I thought I was actually there to hit. So, but it looks like it's just going over. But it might put off a few people when they're battling other cars down that straight unless it gets removed.
Yeah, talking about...
Oh, and a crash there. Oh, and Nichols is rolling. Nichols is rolling into turn 3 there as he lost it under brake, and Deacon Fairclough's also lost it as well. I don't know if that's something you'll catch on camera, but Nichols just lost it under braking, lost the rear end of the car, and hit the wall, and it just did a barrel roll into the slip road. And then Deacon Fairclough had contact with one of the Freezone Racing cars. I think that's Garrett de Vries. And then a Drive Game Seat car got involved as well. So Deegan's facing the wrong way with no front wing, as well as Garrett de Vries. And Jack Nichols got away with that with no missing front wing, but he's an EF damage to that car down to 29th.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. Just missed. I don't know if he missed his brake, but it looked very weird. It looked like he kind of wanted to make a move. Oh, and now Jack Nichols also hit the castle wall. So that's just very unfortunate for him. But as always, race 2, he has a lot of damage to his car. I think that's going to be very unpleasant to drive. Garrett de Vries also crashed. I'm not sure what happened to him. He's missing his front wing.
Contact with Fairclough it was in the incident.
Alright, so he was also involved in that. It's very unfortunate. Back to the front here, we have actually Rosa keeping up surprisingly well with Martin Hemmingson. He's only about 8 tenths off. And next lap will be DRS lap. So, well, actually, this lap is going to be DRS lap.
De Vries is passing Sarah into turn 1 here, down inside, nice and clean, into the corner, up P7. Next target for De Vries is the Valley Sports driver of Chris Griswood ahead. And Griswood is, for the first time, going to be back in Formula Challenge. He's going to be battling one of the top guys and top overtakers in GPVWC. Really aggressive as Sven De Vries, and but you know, fair racer as well, but a hard racer, and Griswood is going to be sweating a little bit now.
Oh,
in
wow.
these, late stages.
Sven made a mistake and he ran over the front wing of, I think, well, one of the cars that lost him. But now he's under attack from David Serra as he made a mistake coming out of that corner. David Serra on the outside. He can stick it there, but he doesn't do it. Now tries to go for the switchback, but it's not to be. Daniel Hurlock definitely interested in making a move here. David Serra protects the inside and Hurlock decides better of it, doesn't go for the move. And the same positions are remained as they go into the castle section.
I think De Vries has damage running of that front wing. The car looks really nervous. Even in a straight line, it looks like the car's sort of like shifting a little bit down the straight line. I think he's actually got a bit of damage running over that front wing.
It didn't move the front wing. It was like under the curb. It looked a bit weird. But I hope not. I hope he doesn't have damage. That will absolutely suck for him. But it's definitely a possibility indeed, yeah.
Oh, Luca Flask has binned it into the right-hander at the end of the second sector, into the wall, front wing gone, and that's going to be a destroyed 8.6 racing car there, and that's going to be a trip to the pits. Down in P24 now. He had a chance of points here today, the Maltese driver. He's now lost that chance completely. Having that after a trip to the pits as Fairclough now goes past him.
Mature rejoin. A lot of drivers could be impatient there. But
Morris has also lost his rear wing as well around the lap. He's crabbing now to pit lane. And a Nova driver who, with respect, not had the best season as he this year. He's having another trip now to the pits. And
battle for P3 now, actually. Justin Meister as DRS onto Amari Watson. Very smartly decides not to make the move there, but it's going to be a very interesting battle, as at the front we also have Patrick Rozek very close to Martin Hamilton, less than half a second right now, and he has DRS obviously in those two big areas. Martin Hamilton actually makes a mistake, he hits the curb, and now it could be a move here, even though it's very risky for Patrick Rozek, and he doesn't do it. But he's very close, and if he stays this close throughout the lap, there's surely going to be a pause on the main straight.
Yeah, Rozak looking impressive here today, and obviously in the race, you know, slipstream does help, but Rozak through these tight twisty sections as well was stuck in the back of Hamilton really, really well. Still a long way to go. Obviously we're only 3.5 laps in, you know, still a long way to go for these guys, only about just over a quarter of the way through the race. So, and this track as well, I think it's mentally exhausting, one of the more mentally exhausting tracks of the calendar, because it's concentration's so on edge all the time, picking out these braking zones, these tight twisty sections of track now. It's just so easy just to run wide and hit the wall.
I think we could see an attack here from Justin Meister. I think Patrick Rozek is a bit too far away, but Justin Meister has that DRS, and he will have that slipstream as well going to the rear of Amari. I'm still keeping an eye out for Patrick Rozek as he gets closer to Martin Hamilton, but I don't think it's going to be enough. But Justin Meister definitely looking fast. Amari has a lot of top speed, but not as much as this slipstream plus DRS gives Justin Meister, and he's going to run the outside, but he's not going for. Amari breaks very late, and he keeps that position, but this battle's brewing up because now he makes that mistake on the exit. Gives Meister a nice run, and now he's going to have a look at this next DRS straight, I think.
Yes, and Hurlock defending there from Serra as well, and Sam Holt's now tagging along this battle. So the battle here as well, spicing up, but going back to the battle for P3, Amari holding his line and defending really well, positioning his car really well, maybe taking advice from Jack Nicholls in the Academy Series. Actually did a very similar thing in this part of track as well.
Meister not attacking unnecessarily hard, which is what I also like. He's not making dive bombs. He thought, all right, I'm not close enough, I'm just going to stick behind him, which definitely was the good thing to do there. So respect for him for that, and he's definitely looking very, very fast, and no doubt in my mind he's going to make or attempt an actual move as soon as he can without making a stupid move, obviously.
Liam Rance is in the pits as well with a missing front wing. He's trying to get that Team Gridline car repaired as quickly as possible, but he runs the risk of maybe even get a lap down.
Rozek almost did a Ben Hamlet. luckily almost. Oh, and now, ooh,
Oh.
Rozak has hit the wall. Oh no.
Yeah, it's going to be, it'd be lucky to get away with just light damage there on that car. I think his car might be crabbing a little bit as a result of that. But actually, no, the wheel looks okay. You know, the best way to judge it for us is going on board, and if he's going in a straight line and the wheel's straight,
Meister.
he's fine.
Meister's surely going to make a move here. I think he's closed it in the last lap. His straight is so long and his toe is so huge that surely, after the DRS is activated now, there's going to be a move here. Justin Meister is going to go down the inside or the outside. Fakes the inside, then goes for the outside. He has a lot of overspeed. Amari, does he brake late enough? Yes, he does. And Amari defends the inside, and Meister now needs to try and make it work onto the next straight, which is shorter, admittedly, but he's also closer at the start of it. Guillaume Bronton obviously liking this a lot. He's gaining a lot of time on these two because he also obviously has the DRS and toe. I think he's too far back now, actually, to make a move. So nice defending by Watson once again.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, and great battle there for that last podium position as well. I'm just sort of flicking through to see if there's any other close battles. Actually, there is one close battle. Actually, we go to the back of the field. Flask, Caneo, and Garrett de Vries all battling for 25th place. They're just going pretty much 3 wide, going around the back of the circuit almost. As well, that's going to be battling. That's going to be ruining just for the minor places.
De Vries very close to Felipe Caneo there, and almost all making the move before the twisty section before the straight. But now there is going to be probably nothing that Caneo can do. He doesn't have DRS, or does he? He does it. Actually, this could help him a lot, as he's obviously not gaining as much as he would have wanted here. I don't think there's going to be anything he can do.
Garrett almost hitting the back of the car. Just get back this way, but Caneo gets a bit skittish under power, but they get away with it this time around. Just seeing the spin, actually, P22 as well. Scott Sovic spinning, and Deacon Fekov just avoiding the back of Sovic's car. They're now glued together as they go into the castle section for the 6th time.
Yeah, talking about Scott Sovic, this is his first Formula Challenge round since the 2015 Brazilian Grand Prix, and that was in fact the last race that this league did, well, the last Formula Challenge race that this league did in Air Factor 1, which is quite a while ago.
Yeah, it's flown by actually. It's surprising how long we've been in our Factor 2 now.
Yeah,
GPVWC.
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years now. It's flown by since then. Oh, just in a battle actually now for 14th. Dan Hutt.
Ooh, Graham Bronson makes a mistake. Sorry to interrupt you. Makes a mistake and loses DRS to Meister. And now he's under pressure from Chris Griswold, who was very close to his DRS.
Sven de Vries is actually also closing up to the back of Griswold slowly but surely as well. So he's broken away from the battle with Herloff and Serra. He's now looking to close up to Griswold, as well as now the leaders are approaching the halfway stage of this race.
Yeah, P15 is going to be a move, I think, to Amala, looking very fast on the straight against Dan Hutt. And who breaks later? It is Dan Hutt, actually, so Jamala doesn't get the move done. But I thought that was going to be a move there. I was wrong. My apologies.
And for Dan Hutt and Friesland as well, this will be much needed points for the team. They've really struggled this year so far to get points finishes. So for Dan Hutt, this would be a great achievement for himself and the team. And also with a chance to get reverse grid pole as well, as he'd be in the battle for 10th to 15th.
Yeah, that will be absolutely fantastic for them. Somebody is struggling, and it's somebody who you predicted would struggle after the first opening laps, and it's Guillaume Branton. He's seems to be making a bit more mistakes than most of the other drivers, and Chris Griswold is really close to him and will have his DRS for this next straight. Ooh, well, Griswold makes a mistake of his own, and now Sven de Vries is the one actually going to be probably doing attack onto Chris Griswold after that mistake in the last corner, technically the last corner. Will he still have DRS, Chris Griswold? I think he will, but I don't think it's going to matter too much.
Yeah, he will. He will. With the yellow lights on his steering wheel, and as he crosses the line now, he is. But Sven de Vries is already alongside. He's already alongside, so you go into past the start finish straight and into the break. So de Vries is looking really good here for the move. There he goes. Breaks nice and nicely that corner and up into 6th position as well. An important move there for Sven de Vries.
Interesting. That's just Baku out for you, how it can change so fast. It looked like Chris Griswold was going to have a move lined up on Brenton, but then just one small mistake and it's actually Griswold who gets passed by Sven de Vries. That's how fast it can turn around here on Baku, and that's why you always need to be alert on a street circuit, like Julian Palmer once famously said.
Yeah, indeed. As just watching as well, Sarah getting closer to Herlock as well. This is the battle just behind them. Santon, Herlock in the Santon car and Sarah in the Asombsic Esports car, scrapping away for P8 as well. And again, even these positions, really good points on offer. As points go all the way down to 15.
Sorry, Jack Nicholls just struggling. He's just spun again. He has damage. His wheel is really wonky, and that's the thing why. Yup, there he goes again into the wall.
Tumar going further up the field. Tumala's binned it into the wall. Battling with Tom Parker. He's in 15th place. He's binned it into the wall. Made a big mistake, and now suffers all the way down to 19th place. But actually, of note, Tom Parker, who started in P30, already up to the points.
Yeah, he's doing very good. So that qualifying pace was a fluke. He probably didn't try at all. Yeah, makes sense. You don't want to get a car and still start at the back and then still get the penalty for cutting. As I'm just looking down the field, if there's going to be anyone close enough for a move here. And I don't really think so. I think everyone's quite far apart from each other. Yeah, so far, quite a bit of big gaps.
There is. I think the closest one so far going down the front straight now is going to be for P16, Tom Voss. Trying to get slipstream from Tom Parker, but he's also got Massimiliano Rivoli behind him as well. But again, not really close enough. And everyone's a bit spread out now, as these races tend to do.
Rivoli actually hitting the limiter behind Tom Voss. Well, that's not something you want to do, because that's really going to hamper your overtaking abilities on this straight.
He's got no chance.
No.
There's people making a mistake ahead of him. He's got absolutely no chance of that gearing. He'll have to get that sorted out for race 2, because otherwise you might as well throw this event goodbye, because you're either not going to pass anyone or everyone's just going to overtake you.
Yeah, that's hitting the limiter is probably the worst thing you could do on this track. But maybe he has more cornering, which could help him. Maybe he's going to make a move in one of the twisty sections of this track. But if you got low downforce and still hit the limiter, then you mean doing something wrong, I would say.
Battle for P5, and it's the Branton train once again in this season as and he gets very, very feisty and fighting the car over the curb. But now Sender Freeze is closing very quickly in the back of him, and he's bringing Griswood, Herlock and Sarah along with him as well. This battle for P5 is this very, very difficult braking zone, downhill, turn left, get
so
away
close.
with it, avoid the wall behind. I'll tell you what, Liam, this is going to get spicy into turn 1.
Absolutely is. Let's see who gets a good exit. Well, it's not Brenton. He's made a similar mistake to Griswood in the last lap. And now Sender Freeze is already all over the back of him. He's probably going to pass him before the DRS point, as he goes out of the slipstream because he doesn't want to pass him before the DRS point. Now he gets the slipstream, and that's going to propel him into 5th position. Chris Griswood probably a bit further back, but Guillaume Branton can't take the racing line as he would normally want to, so maybe there's something that Griswood can look into. But actually Branton holds it down the outside here. They're still side by side. Griswood makes a small little mistake, and it's going to be very interesting. Who got the DRS actually? The DRS activation, but I think it's Sender Freeze who got it. But now Guillaume Branton hits the wall, and now Griswood is definitely going to be able to make a move here. Doesn't have DRS, Guillaume. But does have the slipstream. Is Griswood going to outbrake Branton, or is Branton going to brake later? Branton will brake later, so Sender Freeze gets one position.
Herlock! Oh, Herlock into the wall, front wing gone. Broke too late into the corner.
Oh, and behind as well. Sam Hall does the same. Exact same. And he's just standing still on the racing line, or close.
Well, he's escaped, leaving a dangerous place there. So bad luck for Sam Holt there. In Nova, thrown away again, because obviously Isaac Morris had damage earlier on. But for Herlock, disaster, and just a small, as I said, the smallest mistake, and he bins it into the wall. That is how easy it is to do it around this circuit. But Herlock now will be in a big trouble for race 2.
I don't know what happened to Sam Hall. He just literally did the corner normally, and then every little piece of input, his steering, his throttle, just didn't do anything anymore. It just all vanished.
That's probably why he didn't move after the crash. Probably just had to escape and trying to fix his wheel or his problem for race 2. But from that, Sender Freeze up into 5th, Branton 6th. Griswood was very, very smart the last lap actually, as he saw the 2 cars battling ahead of him. He just stayed at his distance, kept his social distancing, and tried to pick up the pieces. And he's going to look to do that again. with a slipstream that's come from Branton. I think Branton's still in DRS though, so it's going to be more difficult for Chris with the close up.
Yeah, DRS activated and there's nothing he can do this lap, but I think Sven's gonna run away.
Oh, contact at the back as Herlock's got a damaged car. Oh, and more contact with Raboli. Tommy Assis is down in 15th. And I think Raboli's lost his front wing as well because of contact with Herlock as Herlock was struggling to go through the tight twisty section down the flat out part of track. 2 damaged front wings. That means Guy Tomiassi is on his debut here in Formula Challenge. He is now in the points in 15th place. An important point this will be for Neptune in the battle for top of the championship. And Dan Hutt actually up to 12th.
Yeah, great stuff. And Tomiassi was actually also involved. I think Riboli didn't expect. Sorry, it was that's Herlock to not have a front wing and go so slow through that section, and he just slammed to the back of him. Tomiassi also slammed into the back of Riboli, but fortunately it seems like he has minimal damage. I think he has small damage, but nothing threatening. He has a 3.4 second gap onto Tuamala behind him and a 5-second gap, 4.2 second gap right there in front of him and Tom Voss. So he seems pretty safe on that P15 with only 3 laps to go. But unfortunate accident there, yeah.
So I want to shout out Mike Bow in 10th position now. Admittedly, the man of his experience, you could argue, well, he should be doing a lot better in Formula Challenge with Super Cup, Super League lights on his CV. But he's admitted himself, he's been a bit of a tugboat this year in the standings, but getting consistent points. And this might be his best race 1 result of the season in that top 10 for now. Yeah, Super League experience as well. So, you know, it's but 10th position for now. He's doing a good job. He might be under pressure though in the late station of August Land.
David Serra gonna make a move surely on Chris Griswood here, down the inside, clean and easy, no drama. I think Griswood is a good enough driver to know that this is probably David Serra's corner, and he is. Oh, David Serra actually. Mistake, but he keeps it out of the wall.
He was lucky there. Lucky boy. He locked up. Back got a bit swiggly, but kept out the wall just about, and maybe skipped a heartbeat or 2 into that corner.
Or 5.
But, or 5.
Yeah.
But he gets away with it. And this would be even 8th place. You get like 8 points for that as well. So a great result for his debut.
Yeah, I don't think he really wanted to defend it. I just think he lost it normally. But he didn't lose much. He would have lost the place anyway. He lost about a second onto Serra. And Serra looking fast and now on his way to Branton, where Griswood didn't seem to have the pace to stick with Branton. I think Serra has.
Oh, and Parker's lost it from 12th. He just does a little spin, does a very good recovery though into 14th place. He goes down to, but that could have been a lot worse for Tom Parker. You know, down in 12th, does a horrible spin in the circuit, but it's still a great drive. You know, 16 places in race 1 here today, and with a lap and a half to go, really solid job from one of the most experienced members of the grid, admittedly, but shown his class here after a rough season so far.
And what could happen is the same as happened in Super Cup Race 2, where Opportuni started from the back of the grid, then got reverse grid pole, and he finished P14 or something, or P12 in race 1, then got reverse grid pole and won race 2. If Tom Parker gets reverse grid pole, actually he didn't finish P12 because the Super Cup is 10 or 6 to 10, but he finished like 8th and then or something like that. And then he got and then he won race 2. So maybe Tom Parker can do something similar here if luck goes his way. And in the meantime, David Serra is looking down the back of Brenton. I thought a move was imminent, but not yet, as Brenton has a lot of top speed.
Does last shot salute now for these guys as they just started their last lap as well. Hemmingson up in front by 4.5 seconds. Look at that. He's just.
Brenton makes a mistake, but he recovers pretty good, and now it's going to be DRS plus slipstream. It's not enough, is it? I interrupted you for nothing, David. I'm very sorry. Go on.
Yeah, he broke the toe quite early down the straight as well, slightly. So good job there from Branton. Let's hope he holds us on now for the remainder of the lap. He's had a great season so far, you know, for someone on a controller, and definitely shown talent as well. P6 again. I'll say all these results, even if you're finishing 10th all the time, you know, it's it really does add up over a year. If you was to get like 10th position every race, you'd end up with well over 100 points. So probably getting towards 150 points. So it all adds up over the year. But now Martin Hemmingson now coming into the final sector for the last time, and I think he deserves his due here, Liam. He has been faultless.
Magnificent. Yeah. There is just a backmarker in front of Martin Hemmingson, but that's not going to be a problem. He's going to get a nice little slipstream down the straight. He's done everything right, qualifying right, absolutely everything, and now he's going to reap the rewards as he's going to go onto the final straight. No drama for him, and he's going to enjoy his victory. Further down, we have some battles, Sven de Vries and David Surra. I think David Surra has the most realistic chance of getting this position done. Sven de Vries is going to be taking his DRS and slipstream towards the finish line, but it's not going to be enough, I'm pretty sure. But David Surra has a way better shot of doing it. He's really close to Guillaume Brandt, and now DRS opens. Sven de Vries is not doing it, finishes P5, but David Surra is fast. Can he make this done? It's going to be very close, but it's Guillaume Brandt who gets it done instead of David Surra. There was less than a tenth on finish. And actually, Paul Gaslan, P11, Mike Bell, is going to be a very close battle as well for this finish line, but it's also Mike Bell, the guy in front, that gets it. Getting out of that slipstream was is what kills it. Tom Parker finishes just barely in front of Tom Voss as well.
He passed across the line. Tomiassi gets a point. Just a shout out also. Patrick Rosak, P2, brilliant job from it. Murray Watson, a very, very popular podium finisher. He will be here today. P3 for Santa Motorsports here today. Brilliant job from Murray Watson. Been improving all season. Got fourth last come out in race 1. Gets the podium here today. Justin Meister as well, I think, has got to be the driver of race 1 there. 4th position.
Yeah.
That'll really shoot him up the standings, because I know he's down the lower order of the standings there. Sven de Vries in 5th after starting 9th. Guillaume Branton 6th. Sarah 7th. Chris Griswood on his debut in 8th. Thomas Harvey, a very, very quiet but great result for Thomas Harvey. You know, P9 there for him. He'll get about, 7 points for that. Mike Bell ran in the top 10. Parker, Tom Voss, and Gabriel Tomassi rounding out the top 15 and the points finishers.
I think that shows how happy Rozak is just doing donuts. P2 is an amazing job by him. I think the entire top 4 has a shout of being driver of the day. They've done amazing. I do not know where Martin Hemmingson is at the moment. He's found a way out of the circuit. He's escaped. And probably already on his way to Montreal.
Yeah, I was just about to say he's on his way to Canada already. He's like, I don't need this. I don't need race 2, everybody. I'm just out of here. You know, want to get the flight to Montreal already. You know, get practicing for that one.
Absolutely amazing job by. I think that the top 4 all deserve a shout for driver of the day, but who would you give it to?
That's a tough one. Wait after race 2, and I'll give you judgment after that.
Well, driver of the race. Let's say that.
Driver of the race. I'd give it to Meister. I'll give it to Meister. You know, because he's had a difficult time of things. I mean, it's a new team and everything else. 8-6. I mean, you could argue that RBA are a new team as well, but they're linked with Royal Blue in Super League Lights, so they've got experience already. But for a new team, 8-6 Esports, P4, great job for them, and a team they definitely deserve a shout out for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm going to agree with you, with my close second being Patrick Rozak, with my close third being Omari Watson. I think Martin obviously has been the best driver in this race, but that's what we come to expect of him. I think Sven de Vries was looking very good in race 1. However, he's losing points onto Martin Hemmingson. 25 points for Hemmingson in this race. And then Sven de Vries, how much is 5th place? Is that?
I believe that's 11 points, yeah.
That's already 14 points difference.
Yeah. So that'll be the championship gap down to 13 points.
Yeah, and we still obviously have that second race to go here. So we're going to go into a short break. We'll be back with race 2 as soon as possible. 13 laps as well. Reverse grid. We'll tell you the reverse grid number as soon as it's known. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to race 2 of the Baku Grand Prix from the challenge here. We've just finished race 1, where Martin Hemmingson won in front of Rozak, and then Amari Watson finishing out the top 3. Reverse grid number is now known, and what I said about Opportuni, what he did in Turkey Super Cup this year, starting last in race 1, finishing inside the reverse grid number range, and then getting reverse grid pole. That's what happened here as well. Tom Parker started last, finished 13th, and the reverse grid number is 13. So, David, Tom Parker's on pole.
Yeah, and after that drive in race 1, I mean, he had that spin, and he's probably
Happy.
probably a blessing in disguise, isn't it? He had that spin in the later parts of race 1, and now it's a great opportunity now
Calculated.
to it's all in a plan. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
all part of the madness plan, that they have. So he's gonna have a great opportunity now to, I'd say kickstart his season. I mean, he was 10th in the standings going into this season. He's just had a couple of incidents that put him on the edge now of a ban. 8 penalty points he's got on his license. You get 10. That means you get a 1-round ban. So for a few drivers up and down the career ladder, not just in Formula Challenge, but here they've got to be a little bit more careful now. But despite that, Tom Parker had 40 points going into it. That's gone up to 43 points now after that win, and a great chance to improve on that and work his way up the standings.
Yep, 100% agree. He's had a clean, I could have seen a clean race 1. And obviously he's going to be enjoying himself in that race 2 pole position. But the thing is, what we've seen from Hemmingson and Rozak at the start, Rozak could really stay close for a while in Martin Hemmingson's DRS range. But as soon as Hemmingson got out, there was nothing that Rozak could have done. So you need to stay in a DRS range if you're second, and Tom Parker needs to make sure that as soon as possible he gets the drivers behind him out of it. Otherwise, he may be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I'll say it's those early stages as well in the race. First couple of laps, build that gap like Hemmingson did the last time. As soon as he broke that gap, he just got on with he could just focus on his own race and pulled away 4.5 seconds up front. Is Tom Parker going to do the same? I won't know because I've just been kicked out the game. So we'll find out as soon as they get back in. But
there is a small issue where the grip hasn't loaded properly. So just a quick server restart, and it will be fixed, and we're going to be on the way for race 2 here. So everything going according to plan, David. We all got kicked. They don't hate you in particular.
That's all right. Well, that won't be the only one. Let's face it. But so it's important to get the rubber down on the circuit. Otherwise, it'd be just getting around on ice. We've had that before in the past, and other series have taken part in the past. It's not nice. So it's they're doing the right thing. I mean, as long as it's not too long like last time, we should be all okay. I think it's only a few minutes tops, and then we should be all ready to get back racing for race 2 here. So as we mentioned, but in case you missed it, Martin Hemmingson won the first race here this evening, and he's close to get now to Sven de Vries at the top of the championship by 13 points.
So he's 14 more.
Yeah, 40 more to overtake the season. Bear in mind as well, Martin Hemmingson missed the first round of the season in Australia, so he's done a fantastic job to get this close so early on in the standings. I was thinking, well, maybe when we get to sort of round 9, round 10, he'd be there. He's almost in reach of the championship lead, but obviously, even after today's round, there's still 11 more rounds to go. It's going to be tough.
2 races each.
Yeah.
So Sven honestly needs to step up his game because, qualifying 9th is just not something a Sven de Vries should do. He should be up there fighting Hemmingson like he has been in the past. But yeah, Hemmingson doing a really good job, obviously missing that round and still being quite clearly the favorite for the championship is no small feat, and he's just proving it round after round that he is the best driver on this grid.
Well, there's that. But I remember last year he was always very good in race 1, but race 2 was always the sticking point of Martin Hemmingson and Mel Swan for that matter as well. They all very often come into contact and get penalties and have incidents, and that's what ruined Martin's, David's, and Maelstromm's championship in the end the championship. I think he's gone away and learnt that, and maybe the fact there's not as much competition this year. You ain't got Sandy, you haven't got Jonathan Holmes, you ain't got Krupa, you ain't got Terence, you ain't got Menno there. It makes it a little bit easier in some aspects, but in the end of the day, you're still racing 30 cars. You're still starting in the mid pack of these races, like he is, and I think he's gone away and learnt. Maybe with the help of Neptune on the side as well. But maybe a slightly different mentality this year will help him have a better, stronger chance for the championship. Racing with Sven de Vries. And Sven de Vries is no mean feat to beat him. No. You know, you've got to be on top of your game to beat him, as a lot of people know, particularly if you've raced in Super Cup in the past. He's a very difficult guy to beat. So fair play to him. And anyone who's getting close to these guys, Sven, Martin, Hopke, they're doing a great job.
Absolutely. And that's why, for example, Mari Watson, Rozak, and
Meister as well.
P4, doing a fantastic job. Obviously, they had the better qualifying, but that's also part of the game. It's only 13 laps, so every place you can get in qualifying is going to be a great help. And it's no excuse. They just, did a better job than Sven. Even though Sven could have had maybe more pace in the race, it just doesn't matter if you don't qualify well enough.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, one other thing I thought of as well, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we'll see the grid lineup in a second, but I'm pretty sure Dan Hutt's going to start from P2 here.
Ooh.
In this
I think so.
Race. Great opportunity for Friesland to get some solid points on the board. They haven't scored many this year at all with Dan Hutt, Gerrit de Vries. I think they're still in single figures. So what an opportunity for them to establish himself and get a little bit higher up the standings. Downforce did it last time out with Deacon Fairclough, and he started P2 that day as well. Admittedly, around a very, very different circuit, Zandvoort. But is this going to be a day for Friesland to really kickstart their season?
Well, the thing is, they don't have single digits anymore. They had 9 points coming into this round. Now, obviously, with Dan Hutt finishing 12th, they will have double digits.
Yeah, 13 points now. So.
But those were his first points of Dan Hutt. I think you mentioned that at race 1. So fantastic job by him. Unfortunately, Gerrit de Vries did have some issues, had a crash, and I think he apologized to someone. So very good sportsmanship there, but didn't have the greatest race 1, and he's going to be looking to join Dan Hutt in getting a good result and getting Friesland into even more points as they already have now.
Yeah, but it's tough order. So I'm just going to look at the top part of the grid. So yeah, it's going to be Parker and Hart on the front row, August Lahn, Mike Bell ran at second row. Thomas Harvey and Chris Griswood on row 3. Obviously, Liam will run you down the full grid when they do line up in a minute or so's time. But yeah, it's going to be these second races are always exciting because you've got some different names up the front. You've got the fast guys coming through from the mid pack. You get a whole variety of results sometimes as well. So it's going to be a really, really good challenge for these guys.
A good Formula challenge.
Yeah.
I always like these race 2s. They're amazing to watch because obviously you said, the fast drive fight the pack, and it's no easy feat. I mean, if you do it once per straight, it could not be enough here. And if there's a big DRS train, then it can't. It's just sometimes just not as easy as you want it to be. So you need to do something to be creative, and that also leads to wheel-to-wheel battles and sometimes even incidents, which is what you said. Hemmingson had issues with last year, but seems to have learned. But he needs to prove it here again from position. Let me just fact check that.
13.
13 on the grid, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's a tough challenge. And anyway, I was in the reverse grid a couple of times last year, and I started at the front of the field. I got taken out in turn 1 both times.
Ooh.
So it's not. I think it actually involved the same driver both times as well, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to name drop now. No.
It was me. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, it was you. Yeah, that's right.
Whoa, Jack Nichols. All right, Jack Nichols doing a. Well, I'm not sure who's done that, but in real life, but he should have been dead, crashing into the wall big time. But we're going into the race right here. After a 5-minute delay, everything is now fine and in order. Grip levels are all right. Sven de Vries says he votes for a pile-up, which coming from P7 on the grid, I'm sure he would love. Is he P7? No, he's P9. My apologies, he's P9. He's starting exactly where he started from race 1, actually.
Yeah, to be fair, I think, I know this is a serious sport, but I think a few people in the chat wouldn't mind seeing that as well. It's entertainment at the end of the day, and but as long as it's, people are not being silly and they're trying to be sensible, then that's the main thing of the day. But as I say, a bit of entertainment here and there as well. We see Jack Nicholls do some gymnastics in race 1, flying, barrel rolling into the slip road as well. So, but I think they're all ready to move over now to the race session any moment now.
Yeah, should be. There's a bit of a small more delay. But I think it's gonna be very interesting to see what the top runners, Patrick Rozak, Sven de Vries, Martin Hemmingsen, Murray Watson, what they were gonna do to fight their way up back to the front if they are able to, because I think a good start is very important here. But there's also just so much possibilities of ending your race early on. See real F1, what happens in the first few laps, and then except for the last race in 2016, because those were quite boring, which is quite interesting actually. Sometimes the races are boring and sometimes they're entertaining as it gets, which is there's no in between, is there?
Nah, it's never predictable Formula Challenge. Put it that way. It's always good fun. Last few cars now just going to make their way onto the grid. They got 20 seconds to do so. But yeah, for Tom Parker, this could be his proper return to form and winning ways here today. Obviously now, start from the best position possible. Again, he's going to have to take a lead from Martin's book in the start of race 1. First couple of laps, just break away. He's got Dan Hutt and Paul Augustin, his teammate, behind him as well. So his job might be made a little bit easier potentially, but we'll find out in a bit.
Yep, we have Tom Parker, as you said, from P1, tactically calculating that spin. So he finished one place lower and getting himself into that reverse grip pole. I'm sure that were his motive for that spin. Dan Hutt, P2, very happy about that. He's surely going to be. And let's see if he can convert it with Paul Augustin behind him. Mike Bell slotting in P4. Thomas Harvey, P5. Griswood behind him. Then David Serra, who's looked very fast in the later stages of that first race. Starts from P7 in front of Ewan Branton, who he could just barely not pass. Sven de Vries got 4 positions higher than he qualified. Let's see if he can do that again or even better, with Meister having a great race in race 1 on P10. Amari Watson behind him, and Patrick Grozak P2 in race 1. Now starting from 12 with behind him race winner Martin Hemmingsen. Tom Voss behind him, just barely missing out on reverse grip pole. He's surely going to be devastated about that. And then Tomiyasu on his GPVWC Formula Challenge debut gets a point and starts P15 in race 2 with Tuamala behind him, just missing out on that point. And then Ena Morado also coming from the back on P17. Bolko P18 with Fairclough. Everyone I'm about to name now had some issues in race 1, unfortunately. Fairclough 19 and Herlock behind him. Sovic behind him on 21. Then Riboli, De Vries. Luca Flosk not actually driving right now. He's still in the pits, maybe starting from the pits.
He just escaped, actually. He started the formation up and just went to the pits.
Maybe starting from the pits. That could still be. He still has the time, as Garrett De Vries now in P23 coming through the Kessel section. So if he drives to the end of the pit lane on time, there's no stress. So then Durand Kursmiak should have been P25, but he's starting from the pit lane for sure. Lined himself up nicely there. Liam Rance, P26 with Isaac Morris. P27, Rob Rosa behind him. Sam Holt, P29, had that weird disconnection of his wheel, it looked like. But then again, we've seen a disconnection of a wheel in Super League Lights earlier this year, and that looked completely different. So interested to see, maybe after with the interviews, we're going to find out what happened there. Caneo on P30, and Jack Nicholls doing his gymnastic training earlier on, P31. And Danny Robbins, P32, rounding out the grid if you exclude Luca Fosk and Kurs Music, who start likely from the pits.
Tell you what, no, ran absolute disaster in race 1. Look at their drivers now, P27, P29, and I know that Jack May is looking after the team today after Josh Downer got banned from managing the team for, managing for 3 rounds, and we hope that Jack does not spit his dummy out for his toys out the pram after race 1. I hope he keeps his composure and keep the dummy in for race 2, hopefully. And
interestingly enough,
see his team out and maybe get some points, because they need it being near the front of the grid.
Sarah just went to the pits after he has 600 ping noted by Sven de Vries. So he was P7 and he's thinking about the safety of our other drivers because of his leg issue. Big
He's still
thanks
got
to
it.
Sarah.
He's still got it because he got over 500 ping. So I think Sarah, if he's sensible, will
He
retire
did.
that car because that is dangerous.
Oh, he gets put back into the grid. And now we're starting the race regardless. Well, let's see. He goes into the pits. All right. 5 lights on and they're out. And this is a good start from Tom Parker. But Dan Hart has a similar start. Is he going to send it down the inside? He is not. Tom Parker, what is he doing? He goes straight. He just completely misses the corner and loses a lot of positions there, interestingly. And it's Dan Hart who leads from Mike Bell and Paul Gaslan. Oh, then the inside goes. Who's that? Who was that? That's Thomas Harvey making a spot up on 3 people. But now Sven de Vries goes 3 wide, but it's not allowed. He gets denied. And it's Tom Parker who's made up a few plays again. Now Sven de Vries goes down the inside. Can he outbrake everyone here? Ooh, he breaks very late and he makes the corner. That's a nice overtaking move by Sven de Vries there.
Really good, nice and clean actually as well. One thing I have just noticed is Luca Flas tapped the back of his Mystics car in the pit lane, and I think that gives Durand a drive-through penalty as well. That's going to be maybe something that by Stewartson reported, so interesting stuff.
Ooh. Being fair close fighting. He's just been tapped on the back by Daniel Hurlock, and now Daniel Major. There's a lot of fighting going on here, and not sure where to look at the moment as Tom Vos tries to make a move on Meister. And does not make the move stick. But Sura, respect for him. He has voluntarily retired the race because of his ping, and that's not an easy thing to do. Just massive respect to him. Just have to give that shout out. Shame, because he's looked very fast. And that's our first retirement of the day. Well, not of the day, of the race, rather.
Clean at the castle section as well, and a disaster for Madness. You know, P1 and 3 on the grid, now down in 3 and 5. But look, Dan Hutt and Mike Bell clearing it way at the front of the field. Paul Augustin in 3rd. Sven de Vries have a very important start in 4th, ahead of Parker.
Hemmingson and Rozak are battling, and there's surely going to be a move here. And this is for P1 and P2 of race 1. Now they are fighting for P9 on this reverse grid pole. There's no DRS, so this is not going to be a piece of cake. They're side by side, and so are Tom Parker and Sven de Vries, actually. Tom Parker has a lot of top speed and makes the move done on Sven de Vries here. Guillaume Branton on the outside of Griswood. Griswood sticks to the inside. There's a lot of battles going on, and Hemmingson doesn't get to move
Oh, it's an enormous crash down the front straight. Look at that. 8, 9 cars going down the front straight. This is enormous. Danny Robbins involved. Riboli.
What happened there?
Oh, this is crazy.
Oh, leg incident. It's a leg incident. And it's Deegan Fairclough who's lagged into Daniel Hurlock, and then they're just stuck inside each other, and that's just a massive crash caused by lag, and that is absolutely horrible.
I must admit, I mean, so many teams involved now. Yeah, there's Sanson involved as well, Hurlock's involved, Nova's involved, Rooster's involved, you know, it's too many to name. I mean, how many retirements? Robbins, Holt, Garrett de Vries, Hurlock, Sarah. It's just crazy stuff. I mean, I've not seen anything like that in a long, long time. Probably not. Wow. Even the incident a couple of years ago in Super Cup involving Lewis de Glade and Redshaw and Timala, that had nothing on that. That was enormous.
What about Melbourne this year, Super League Lights?
Well, that and FC actually, to be fair. But,
FC, yeah.
At Baku at least, that is a huge, huge incident, and a lot of unhappy campers now in race 2.
I remember Fairclough having a screen freeze where he won the race in Zandvoort, and luckily Tom Vos at the time, he was far enough away to not actually get sent up the air. But now it is just who was that? Mattia Boko, sorry for interrupting myself, but Mattia Boko hits the wall quite hard at the last turn, and Isaac Morris follows him, and surely he has damage after that. He was not straight.
He's going to be having a crapping car, I think, and Tomiyasu has a similar problem, I think, in his car as well. His car actually looks a little bit low on one side of the car. It looks like his car's wiggling a little bit down the straight as well. He's in 18th place. Bolko actually passes Morris into turn 1, and everyone else ahead looks fairly clean, but Dan Hutt still leading here for Friesland.
Omari Watson doing a move in the meantime on Bolko, and they touch, or on Tomala rather, not on Bolko. Tomala still in front, and now let's see if Omari Watson can get this slipstream and get a move done here. Ooh, he breaks very late actually, but he thinks better of it and hits the inside wall. Ooh, that's not gonna be nice for the car, but everything's still working as intended, is what it seems like at least. Only one driver can know that for sure, and that is Amari Watson, who feels it. So there's nice battles for this P12, 13, 14 area.
And Hemmingson passed Harvey as well into turn 3 as well. So he's up to 8th now. Look at the back of Branton as well. But these cars, Hutt, Bell, Paul Augustin, Parker, De Vries and Griswold look really, really good at the front end of the field. Branton, again, you know, we're expecting him to drop back a little bit, but still early days. He should still be pushing that car pretty hard. But now he's got Hemmingson right behind him as DRS will be activated, I believe, this lap. Oh, and a move down into this corner. Rosak down inside Thomas Harvey. Great, very brave move.
Meister
from
takes
Rosak.
advantage.
And Meister takes advantage, which you rightly say as well. That's a very brave move and great opportunism there from the Polish driver.
This is the first lap where we're going to have DRS down the straight. And let's see if someone can make a move. Talking about Guillaume, actually, it's true he is a bit worse in the later stage of the race, but this time everyone in front of him should be slower, except for maybe Sven de Vries, because obviously of the reverse grid number. But he's now under attack of Hemmingson, who has the DRS, who has the slipstream. Is he going to make a move here? Not quite yet. Back further down, there is a move done by Thomas Harvey on Justin Meister on the outside. Is there room? Well, there is room, but now you're on the outside for the next turn as well. How late does he brake?
And Balko and Timala rubbing wheels out of turn 1, and that's going to give Morris a chance to close up. This is very, very close. Oh, that was almost a Force India there from 2017, I believe, into that wall.
Yeah.
Not teammates, but similar sort of situation. But now Morris opening up the DRS down here, trying to pulling out, not getting anywhere with that. Timala's not afraid, though, to make a move with his reputation in the past. But, and he gets... There's the on power drift.
I would like to focus... Sorry?
That's fine.
I would like to follow P2 here, because there's surely going to be a battle on right. As Martin Hemmingson and Guillaume Branton. Guillaume Branton gets overtaken by Martin Hemmingson here.
So close to the wall there as well was Hemmingson.
Yeah.
But nice
Great
move.
And I think there's going to be a big battle for P2. Mike Bell sticking to Dan Hart actually, but everyone else just sticking to them as well. This is a big DRS train, but the only one not having DRS obviously being P1, Dan Hart. So let's see how this goes, how this happens, how this falls out there on this big straight.
Yeah, so, the spinner back, Griswold in the wall. Griswold in the wall, he's lost it under power, front wing gone, trip to the pits, race,
and
ruined.
He has to wait. He has to wait. Well, actually, no, he doesn't, but that doesn't matter. It's just race over, as you said. This is horrible mistake that ends this race. Unfortunately, he did the same thing on that curb earlier on in race 1 rather, where he lost a place to, I think, Sven de Vries because of it. But this time it's going to be a pit stop. It's going to be a lost front wing. And actually up front, slight contact. Tom Parker taps the back of Paul Gaslan.
Nearly two teammates. He was almost Red Bull. Wasn't that nearly taking each other out into turn 1?
Yeah.
From all those years ago as well. That was too close for comfort for the team boss in particular. But yeah, definitely Griswold fan club's going to be particularly about. Oh, and Watson hits the wall inside turn 2, and there's a spin. The Azumbik car rolls over.
Big crash.
And 2 milers on 2 wheels. Oh my goodness me! That's going to be, I think, the blame there. There's got to be on Amari, unfortunately.
Yeah, but he made a mistake.
He made the mistake, hits the wall, and then comes across on the Azumbik car. And the Azumbik car, in fairness, there's nowhere to go. Tumala gets affected in that as well. So unfortunate stuff. And there's Sam Polk just leaving the race there. We've still got 24 runners. Liam Rance's now in the pits. He's lost another front wing. The Beerwick grid line's going to be very high after this one. You know, they've gone for a few today. But yeah, it's a race of attrition here and survival with GP, but a lot of surprise point finishes here as Tumala's bend it into the wall himself and retired. What's going on here? Oh, he just, wow, that is missing the breaking point. And he did the same thing, actually. He didn't take anyone out.
Dan Hart hits the wall big time, and I don't know if he has damage, but maybe not be his biggest problem here, as Mike Bell is right up his tail, and surely he's gonna slipstream him down the straight. That was a big mistake that cost him a couple of tenths. Oh, this dirty air from Mike Bell in this corner section is pretty big, but it won't matter. Surely he's gonna take the lead here. There's no chance he's not, I think, as he's not taking the slipstream quite yet. Now he is, and he's gonna get the DRS and actually takes the outside. So it may not be as easy as I made it out to be, because, well, the top speed on Dan Hart is quite big. Mike Bell slightly quicker, but not much. And Dan Hart breaks late. Does he outbrake himself? No, he does not. So he keeps the position. I think Mike Bell should have taken a bit more dirty air, or sorry, not dirty air, rather slipstream there, but didn't, and he stays in P2. But that mistake almost cost him a front wing and almost cost him the lead.
Yeah, so you know it's going to be thing is Dan Hutt's got damage. It doesn't look like he's got damage coming from the wheel at least. You know, normally a car hit the wall that hard normally gets crabbing and you see inputs on the wheel. No, it looks like he's got away with it for now. Madness cars look very impatient behind.
Yes, to each other even.
Yeah.
They've always been close a few times already with hitting each other, mostly Parker on the back of the lawn. So I hope they keep it clean. But at the moment, Mike Bell, is he going to make a move here? Very, and he actually brakes later, but then you get on the curbs, and now they hit each other, but he gets the move done. Well, not sure if that was too clean, but well, he's in P1, so it worked out, I guess.
Maybe. Mind you, Bell's not going to be in a good position for when the straight comes along,
No.
because you're right behind him. But look behind, 5th and 6th. Sven de Vries, Martin Hemmingsen, part 2. Here in front of us, de Vries loses it. Wow, look at this, and Hemmingsen's going to be alongside into the braking point. Always contact. Oh, they keep it clean around there as well. Great stuff.
Well, they're still not done yet. Well, Martin Hemmingsen puts him in. And he's going to enjoy this slipstream, but that was not very nice by Martin Hemmingsen. He really tapped the wheels of Sven de Vries' car. But I think he's going to be in a load of trouble because he doesn't have a slipstream. I think he's too far away here. And Sven de Vries definitely will have a slipstream. So this is going to be a battle into turn 1, David.
Yeah, and Dan Hutt now got the advantage. So, you know, maybe you could look at that pass from Bell, maybe negated there.
Sven around the outside.
Oh, Mike Bell's up, braked himself. Come on, there we go.
Martin Hemmingsen hits Sven.
Oh, wow. That's something we have to look at as well. Mike Bell loses positions there. Madness go up to third and second and third there. But yeah, we'll have to look at the contact between Hemmingsen and de Vries.
Sorry, we're just commentating about two completely different things. There's too much happening, but Martin has been driving very aggressively compared to Sven. And there goes the dive bomb from Sven. He's made it, so it's not a dive bomb. It's good, it's clean. Now he's around the outside for the next turn. A big battle here, but Sven doesn't have the space in front. Laan is there, and now he's got the move done. Surely you can stick around the outside here if Hemmingsen tries. He does try. So, this is so close. And Martin Hemmingsen goes over the curbs and they touch again. Now it's Guillaume Branton who looks down the inside of them both. Sven is maybe going to even lose a place here to Guillaume Branton, unfortunately for him.
Race 2 really spicing up. Only just hit halfway distance as well, and more cars behind are catching up to the battle ahead. But back up front, Dan Hutt leading from from Tom Parker now in second. You know, making up for his bad start. Bell in third, Goldstein fourth, and then just the great battling we're experiencing here just behind. Hemmingsen now actually gapped out a little bit. Sven's now on the inside. Branton brakes very nicely there into the corner and defends, for now at least, that P6 position.
Wow, what's happening here? Yeah, a lot of contact with walls, a lot of contact on wheels. Everyone has come out fine. Sven losing a position. He's now going to go back and try and get it on the back of Guillaume Branton. And Martin Hemmingsen is going to make a move on Laan in the meantime. So let's focus on Hemmingsen first. Oh, let's focus on Sven first because he's going to be the first one making the move because Laan has a lot of top speed. Sven on the outside now. And Martin Hemmingsen is not actually gaining much because of Mike Bell giving a slipstream to Laan. Sven de Vries around the outside of turn 1. Is he able to stick this move? Guillaume Branton breaks late. Is it late enough? It's not late enough. Sven de Vries, beautiful move here.
So RBA going to be ganging up on the championship leader here. Oh, and a lunge from Branton. Oh, and Sven de Vries just about defends that. You know, it's a bit of a dodgy lunge there from Branton, I'll be honest. But, you know, they get away with it. But now the grid line kind of Harvey. And is that just Maestro? It is in P10.
Martin Hemmingsen.
Close up to the battle with this. And as well as, yeah, Hemmingsen now looking down the inside of Volkswagen. This is just action all over. We just can't keep up with this, can we?
No, we can't. Let's start. Oh, there's a contact again. Laan and Hemmingsen 3 times in one corner. Can Laan brake late enough here to stick around the outside? No, he cannot. So that's another move done by Hemmingsen, who has shown no remorse for everyone on track.
No remorse for his ex-teammate either, you know, he's passing August Laan as well. So there might be a bit of friction between those two, but nothing bad happened. Oh, August Laan hits the wall on the exit there off that tight right-hand hairpin just before the castle.
Sven de Vries just brings so much commitment into that coastal section. I'm afraid every time he goes through it, well, he has more experience than anyone here. So I'm sure he knows what he's doing. And I'm not too sure he is going to be too happy with Hemmingson's actions. And I think we may see this go to the DC after the race. Meanwhile, in front, we may have a nice battle for the lead here. Tom Parker and Dan Hart. The gap is 0.3 of a second. And this straight is very, very long. So a move. Well, actually, Dan has pulled out quite a bit, but is it enough?
Tell you what, showing some love in a minute for Tom Parker down this straight because he looks like he's in the DRS trainer very, very fast. Car, this Madness Racing car, and he's got DRS, of course. And I think Tom Parker here, if he can steal the fate, he's in a very defensive line before the corner. But there he goes into P1 with just starting the 9th lap of this race.
Sven de Vries.
Oh, and a move there from de Vries. Yeah, right. So.
And now he's going to get passed by 2 cars. This could be a big problem. That dive bomb not working. So far it seems clean, but Sven has no top speed, I'm telling you, David. He is struggling on those straights. And now, actually, Paul Augustin choosing to get the slipstream to Guillaume Branton, who also gets moved on. And meanwhile, Martin Hemmingsen, Mike Bell, there's too much happening. Branton around the inside, but Sven keeps a hold of this position. And I think we may even see a double win from Martin Hemmingsen here, because he's already in P3. And, well, I think he's got the pace on the guys in front.
Just giving an update with the DNF situation. We've had Tomiassi, Tumala, Jack Nicholls retired. We've only got 20 runners now in this race. It's been a race of attrition since the very first lap. So difficult times, but as I say, a lot of good points here up for grabs if you can just keep on the road.
Sven de Vries at the back of Laan. We've seen this one before. Laan has so much top speed, or Sven has so little top speed, because with DRS, slipstream, everything, he just can't get past him on the straight. He needs to do it somewhere else, I'm afraid, and that's why he tried to lunge into turn 1, which ultimately just didn't work. But I'm interested in this battle, as Martin Hemmingsen has just won so much time in one sector that he's already into the DRS of Dan Hart as well. But I think he's too far away to make a move, unlike Sven here, David.
Yeah, some tricky stuff down here, and I think now Hemmingsen's going to be the man on a mission now, particularly in P3. You know, with 4 laps to go, it's tricky stuff now. Parker in the lead now. He's gapping away from Dan Hart already, 1.5 seconds. He has Sven now right behind.
Look at his top speed. There's nothing. He barely gains, and now we got the inside. He's going to break late. But corner Sven. And he forgets about it, and that's Rosa gaining a position, that's Guillaume Branton gaining a position, and Thomas Harvey interested in that position as well. Breaks late, goes around the outside here, but chooses better of it, and now it's Justin Meister looking down the inside of Harvey, actually.
No, but looking at top speeds there, I don't think Sven's got a slow car. It's just Madness has set up a really low downforce setup with no DRS, and they're hitting almost the same top speeds as cars with DRS. So Madness is going to be an absolute nightmare to pass down the straight.
Meister! Oh, Meister half spins and he gets out of it, but he almost fully spun. But he's fine.
Yeah, he is there. Yeah, it's a difficult one, but yeah, Madness cars now. If they're trying to pass one of these, like Parker or Paul Augustin now, if Paul Augustin now is at the front of the train, guys behind like Rosak, Branton, Sven de Vries, they're going to get very, very frustrated now, because unless Augustin's
crash! P2 Dan Hart is off. I'm very sorry.
Oh, look at this! Look where he's parked as well. He's achieving his best job, but his best bet's going to reverse. Yeah, he is reversing up the slope. Oh, he's going to damage his car.
Oh, this is bad. This is bad. He's in such a bad position at the moment. And everyone is getting through cleanly so far.
That is. And Arias retired, so the opportunity for Friesland to get a bucket load of points out the window. What it means, though, everyone moves up. So Hamilton now P2. Mike Bow still in a podium position here for Downforce after Downforce getting their win last time out with Deegan Fairclough. Mike Bow now third.
Isaac Morris has lost his wheel on P12.
Augustin's hit the wall. Augustin's hit the wall as well, going through the tight twist session defending.
Oh no.
The position. So now Augustin's got big damage on the car. And going to be very, very difficult for him now to defend from anybody with the car crapping like that. But now RBA up to 4th and 5th position.
Laan his car is toast.
Yeah.
This should be race over in terms of there's nothing except.
He's going to try and keep going because there's big gaps between himself. He's still in it for points, but you've got 3 laps to go, but look at that car. He's just ahead of Amari Watson. That car is just drunk, isn't it? You know, the car is completely messed up. The amount of angle he's having to put in, keep that car in a straight line, is excessive.
Absolutely. There's team orders down the field, not down the field, up the field. Guillaume Bronson got let by Patrick Rozak. So they think that Guillaume has more pace, and now it's Rozak's job to defend against Sven de Vries and Thomas Harvey and Justin Meister behind. So team orders there as Martin Hemmingson did a 53.2 last lap. Parker 5/10 faster, so maybe Martin wasted a bit too much tire here, but he's still chasing for that victory. 2 seconds is the gap at the moment.
Rozak gets very sideways out the castle section. De Vries now right on his backside and up his gearbox, going down into the downhill braking zone here. Oh, De Vries leaves off. He's been sensible about it. You know, it's very difficult to pass unless you're completely alongside a car. Thomas Harvey again in for good points again in race 2, as well as Meister, so they're having very good days in the office for their respective teams. Out in front, Tom Parker, gap now 2 seconds from Hemmingson. I don't think Hemmingson is going to catch Parker here. There's only 2 laps to go, and the gap's 1.8 seconds. As fast as Hemmingson is, Parker now in clear air, and full concentration he's going to have, he's going to find it difficult. Hemmingson's going to find it difficult to pass and catch the Madness car with the straight line speed advantage that car has.
It's going to be very close because the gap is 8 tenths. Well, not the gap, but the lap time difference was 8 tenths in the last lap. And interestingly, Tom Parker wins 3 tenths on that straight. So even if he gets close enough for the DRS, it's not going to be an easy feat because Tom Parker has more top speed.
And De Vries has passed Rozak as well for 5th.
Yep. And now Rozak actually looking maybe to get a move done. Rozak has damage. His wheel is not straight. And he's going for the move. And that's a dive and a half. And they don't touch somehow. But he doesn't get the move done. So that is Sven de Vries, I think, now officially into P5. And he's going to go on his way with 1.5 laps to go on to Guillaume Branson.
And Matteo Bolko, who's in the points, he's lost his front wing. That promotes Chris Griswood, who's obviously pitted in the early stages of the race. He's now back into the points after getting damage earlier on. He's not giving up. Also, Caneo's in line to get points as well. More points for Drive Game Seat. So a few teams here today looking to kickstart their seasons after some rough starts for some of the guys. But yeah, Bolko comes out back out in 16th place.
Ultimately, if you just had a clean race without any crashes or incidents, you would have finished P14 here already. So consistency the key, and talking about consistency, Sven de Vries just takes that curb so hard and could now well be under attack, especially because Sven de Vries has so little top speed compared to some other drivers. He's going to be under pressure from Rozak, I think.
Yes, indeed. It's now the guys up front starting their final lap, and Parker's still 1.5 seconds up front. And the experienced head, he had a rough start, of course, but the experienced head of his has managed to carve his way up back to the lead position. From pole.
Got the inside, and he's got him. There's nothing Sven can do unless he wants to dive bomb him. But Rozak is defending the inside here. So that's it. He should have gone for less downforce, I would say.
Depends how much practice they put into this event, of course. You know, if not too sure how much the Thunderdog guys have put in. Obviously, everyone's got a slightly different philosophy of what the car should be like. But around Baku, really his top end speed is going to be half the battle won if you can get that right.
Sven doesn't get the move on the outside, but he's looking fighty. Maybe around the inside here. Nope, he doesn't go for it just yet.
So watch out for Meister as well. If these two are scrapping, Meister's going to be in a great position to capitalise here. If Sven, because obviously Sven's got a championship to fight for. Rozak, with respect to him, hasn't got nowhere near as much to lose. And they're going to be 3 wide almost. No.
Yeah, nice move by Sven. He took the inside and now got it. I think behind now Harvey around the outside of Meister. He doesn't do it, but that was a nice attempt there. I think we're gonna see a draft or a draft fest down the straight, and I think Sven may be in a whole lot of trouble if he can't get further enough away from Patrick Rozak.
5 cars battling for 5th position. It's going to be great run to the flag, but back up front of the field, Tom Parker has lost a little bit of time here, actually, and Hemmingson, I think, is a bit too far back to get the slipstream here, but Parker here looking to get his first victory in a very, very long time in the GPVWC, and for its first for Madness Racing as well.
Absolutely phenomenal drive by Tom Parker. Did everything right except maybe turn 1, lap 1, where he overshot it, but nothing's phasing him. He has got this victory in the bag, and there he crosses the line as there's a accident. Sven de Vries is off. Sven de Vries and Patrick Rozak are out of the race, and they're in the middle.
Amari Watson as well, barrel rolling down the straight, and that's given Tom Voss up to P7. Amari Watson just floor it to the flag. It's going to be who can recover best, and what looks like Watson has recovered best there. I want to see a replay of that, actually.
We have a limp battle. Amari Watson versus Sven de Vries without front wing, but Watson still gets P8. The gap was big. What happened there? Was that a leg incident?
I'm just trying to find out now. It looks like it was. Or it looks
Yeah,
like
it was.
Sven de Vries runs wide, and Rosak got the lag straight into de Vries. And actually, funny enough, even though Amari Watson got caught up in an incident, he actually gained a place out of it.
He's barrel rolling and he got a place that way.
He gained a place that bit as well. So, what a shocking end to the race, but entertaining as well. So yeah, just to recap, Parker from Henderson and Mike Bell. He gets a podium here for Downforce again, the second time on a podium in 2 events. And I think Mike Bell will be absolutely stunned with respect to him as well. He wouldn't have been expecting that at the start of the evening. Guillaume Brandt from Thomas Harvey in 5th place. Great events work from him. 2 very strong points finishes. Justin Meister, exactly the same. They'll be both very happy there, even as well. Tom Voss in 7th, capitalising for that big accident in the end. Amari Watson in 8th, de Vries 9th, Paul Augustin in 10th, Rozak 11th, Emirado in 12th, Filippo Caneo in 13th, Luca Flask 4th. Russwood gets another points finish. Well, 1 point there. But yeah, adding to his first race points tally. And Bolko, de Vries and Scott Sovic ran out the finishers. And then 14 retirement as well.
Yeah, that is an action-packed race. And the big gainers of that incident at the technically last corner, is probably Thomas Harvey and Justin Meister, who actually, which we didn't actually pick up on, they finished in 200ths between each other, Thomas Harvey and Justin Meister. So there was a nice drag race after that crash. Thomas Harvey came out on top and got P5. But yeah, Tom Parker, great drive. I see some people talking about his wings, that he's running 1-1 wings. Surely looks like he got 3/10 on Hemmingson in the final sector, so he's done a very good job on the setup. It's got him the win, and congratulations for him as we are about to head into some interviews. Let's start with our first race 2 winner here, Tom Parker. Congratulations. This has been a long while since you've won. How are you feeling?
Oh, knackered. If I'm honest, I'm knackered, mate.
Must be in a good way, huh?
Absolutely. I don't think it's. I think it's been quite obvious my dislike for Baku. So to come away with 2 points after starting pretty much last in the first race, I'm pretty happy.
I see a lot of people commenting, especially Martin Hemmingson, who was nearing getting closer to you in race 2. He said, "Are you running 1-1 wings?" Did you like plan on running very low wings? Was it a tactic, or was it just felt best in the setup?
Bit of both, really. I knew I had a 20 place anyway, so I thought I'm not going to bother qualifying. I will just go for straight line. Tested a lot of wing splits, a lot of different wings, and in the end, I settled on one I quite liked. I wasn't on one on either wing. I was close, but I wasn't quite one on either of the wings. But I was very, very fast in the straight line, and I knew it was my only chance because obviously Baku long straight. I know Martin on the last lap, he was in 7/10 of me at DRS line. I pulled out 2/10 even with DRS and open. So yeah, I just focused on in that race 1, just focusing on making clean overtakes, getting through the field. Obviously, I've had a bit of a boo-boo, but if anything, the boo-boo might have actually helped me because obviously getting pole in the end.
Calculated.
Yeah, calculated spin. I don't know how I didn't hit the wall, but yeah.
It was a nice recovery. We saw
Yeah,
that.
mate, 360. You know what I'm like. But yeah, race 2 was all just about keeping it clean. Obviously, my start wasn't very good. I missed the lights a little bit. Shifted up to seconds a bit early, and then I outbraked myself. So it wasn't great. But then obviously I got past everyone. Then Dan had his accident. Paul managed to hold people up for me, and then it was just focused about keeping it clean ahead of Martin. I somehow nearly set 2 PBs in my last 2 laps, so I was pushing my ass off. But I didn't think. I don't know how Martin's that quick. It baffles me. I mean, like I said, I nearly set 2 fastest laps for me, and he still took 6 temps out. So Yeah, lucky that I had people to back me up. But yeah, I'll take the win. My first win in Formula Challenge. So yeah, happy days.
Very happy days. Congratulations, Tom, and good luck for your next events. Hopefully, you can get one more in.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's bring another very happy man, team boss of the most successful man here in Baku, team boss of Martin Hemmingson and Neptune. Rodrigo, how are you feeling after P1 and P2 respectively?
Hello, Leon. Hello, David. Was what you make the strategy was our training. We have a lot of days to prepare the car for the race today in Baku, and we make what we wanted. That is a great result. Not just Martin, but also Guilherme make 1 point in race one. A pity his race two have some problems because he have a problem in his suspension, and then he have a DNF takes to a mistake he did against Jack Nichols. I'm sorry for Nichols for that, but we already expected to be a talked race because it's a tight track. And I also to thanks Higo because today I cannot make properly my work as team boss thanks to a problem I have in my computer, and Higo did the job for me today. I'm very happy. I want to see after all the reports how will be these standings.
Yeah, I think he's still in P2 is Martin, but he's very close after missing round one here. So let's bring in unfortunately not Martin. He is not here as of yet. But let's bring in the other Neptune driver, Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu, you got points. I think 1 point in race one, and unfortunately crashed out in race two. Can you be happy with this event? Are you happy with the points?
I'm a lot happy. I didn't expect to get to the points. I mean, I just knew that I would have to race without crashing. That happened in race one. Race two wasn't the case, but I'm happy. I'm happy. I did not have the pace, but I have the mentability. I think it's the word. In the first race, I just took the opportunity and got a point.
Yeah, it's very good. Unfortunately, in race two, it wasn't as good as it was in race one. You had that incident with Jack Nichols, I think.
Yeah.
Run us down that incident, please.
I had a screen freeze earlier in the race. I got some suspension damage, not major, but it was kind of annoying. And I had to steer right in the straight. And I just went for a move that I think it wasn't the best choice. It was too optimistic, I think. And we crashed.
All right, that is unfortunate, but very mature for you to admit that. We hope to see you in more Formula Challenge races with Neptune, maybe perhaps. You wear emergency. Is there anything planned out for the future yet? Are you doing the next FC race as well, or is that not known yet?
It's very complicated because of I'm just back on Simracing because of quarantine, and now that and I don't know how much it will last. So I'm just enjoying the moment. I don't know how things will be from here.
All right. Well, we hope to see you back on the track. Yeah, Rodrigo.
By the way, size we don't know what day the quarantine will end in Brazil because Guilherme is from Brazil. If people don't know, maybe day 10 will end it, but the next race in Canada is day 13. So probably Guilherme will not race. So Neptune still need to find another guy. But I want to really thanks Higo, that is my partner in Neptune, because I make the decision to put Guilherme in this race without his talk with him, and he was very angry with me after that. But in the end, we understand each other, and I talked to him. If Guilherme don't make some points today, he can make a punch in my face. But Guilherme make 1 point, so Guilherme saved my face to be punched by Higo. Pum. And about the championship, we want to make the same job you make today in Canada. Martin, he's training a lot to win this championship. His goal this year, and also is our goal to make our team win not only the constructors but help Martin to win the drivers championship, because we think he deserves it. He's the best driver in FC right now.
This guy's a beast.
He definitely seems to be the best driver in FC right now. He's proved that today. Well, good luck for the future rounds, guys, and congratulations on a very good result for the team. And we'll see you on track in 2 weeks, I guess.
Yes, in Canada. Thank you, Leon. Thank you, David, for.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. All right, let's go for the next interview here with probably a very happy man, Amari Watson here. Very good podium, Amari. How are you feeling? I'm very happy. How are you feeling about it?
I'm over the moon. I am over the moon. Over the moon. It's a really good race. After the front two ran away with things, I had a big fight with Justin. Once I gapped him, it was just a case of bringing it home in third. I'm really over the moon. Thank you.
I talked to you before the race, and you said that you don't like Baku. And you weren't expecting much. At least that's how it sounded like, right?
Still hate the track. And no, I wasn't expecting much from it. But yeah, I surprised myself, to be fair.
But if you hate this track and you already get a podium on here, and you've been improving steadily every single race, Senfo you got fourth, now third. I think you could start thinking about race wins if you keep putting this practice in, Amari.
I wouldn't get ahead of myself yet. I think we've still got a few superstars in this league. Martin, Sven, Wopka, to name a few. Still got to get past those guys first. But yeah, I'm on the right path. I'll keep training hard. See what I can do in an up and coming races.
Let's ask one more question on the final straight. I think there was a leg incident where you were involved in, but you somehow gained the place. Can you walk us through that?
I came round the final turn and I saw two cars barrel rolling on the straight. I was like, okay, let me try and navigate my way through. I couldn't. I hit one of them. I started barrel rolling, saying, "Oh, when is this gonna stop? When is this gonna stop?" It finally stopped, and I gained a place. I couldn't believe it. I thought my race was over at that point. Wow.
It definitely looked like it. I mean, I don't know how you gained the place, but that is the best overtake of the season for me.
Thank you.
Anyways, congratulations, man.
Thank you for the broadcast, boys. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care.
Yeah,
Take care,
pleasure.
man.
Well done.
All right, our final interview of the day, probably with a very happy man, Mike Bell. Is this your second podium in 2 events, is it? How are you feeling?
No, it's my first career ladder podium.
Oh.
Yeah, Deegan got on the podium last time, so it's the second podium for the team in 2 events. So that's great.
Oh,
but
sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I had no pace all week leading up to this, and then I just managed. Something just clicked in qualifying, and I set a PB by like 0.6 of a second, and that put me in a decent spot for race 1. And then it was just kind of everyone in front drove away, everyone behind fell back, and I was just left in my own little space. And then a nice reverse grid draw put me at the front, and yeah, I made my play for the win, and unfortunately it didn't work. But you got to try, haven't you?
Yeah, you had a very nice little battle with who was it again? Was with P1.
As with Dan Hook.
Hook, yeah.
How long has it been ago since you got a podium? Is this your first podium?
In the career ladder, it's my first podium ever, and I've been doing career ladder stuff since 2013. But last podium must have been in ITC at some point last year.
Oh wow, that's amazing! Congratulations, man! You had a very good race today. And going further in the season, do you think you can repeat this result, or do you think this was a fluke? Because obviously, I think you had the pace. I don't think this was too much of a fluke, was it?
Well, pace-wise, I've really been lacking all year. Even in Australia where I got in the top 5, I had the 22nd fastest lap, and even today Hemmingson and Parker at the end just left me for dust. So I don't think pace is an issue. But hopefully I can figure something out. And I mean, I've got a few strong tracks coming up, like Canada and that, where I usually go well. So hopefully if I can find some pace by then maybe we'll see on the podium again. But if I'm honest, I think it's a long shot. So I'm just happy to take it when I can. And yeah, it's 2013's 8 seasons now I've been doing this, and I've had my first podium. So that shows you how rare that is.
Well, hard work and dedication pays off, I guess. Congratulations a lot, and hopefully we see you return on the podium, because you were very good today. So congratulations.
That would be cool, and thank you very much.
All right, that concludes the interviews here. thank you everyone here on the podcast for watching us. Tomorrow, well, actually not tomorrow, next week, we will have 3 more races. We will have the Super Cup, Super League Lights, and Super League. David, what do you think of that race? What do you make of that race? That was amazing.
One for the memory books for sure for a few people, I think. No, it was a cracking event, and Baku was Baku, we could say, particularly in race 2. But yeah, great event, and it shakes things up quite a bit in the championship standings as well. So Hemmingson, we got to see what happens in the reports. Obviously, that will come in about a week's time, or just over a week's time. The penalties, but provisionally at least, Hemmingson's right up there. He is right up there for fighting Sven de Vries. But I'm expecting things to happen between now and Canada in 2 weeks' time. That's for sure.
Yeah, that was on the limit racing, and we've seen some reports between the two in the past. So it's going to be interesting to see if there will be any talks to the DC. As I said, guys, next week we'll have 3 more races. On Thursday, we will have Tuesday. I was confused it too, David. Tuesday we will have the Super Cup at the same time, and then Super League Lights the day after on Wednesday, with Super League on the Thursday as always. So don't miss that out. Thank you everyone for watching, and thank you for all the drivers for an amazing race, and thank you Rob Mason as well for the cameras. And we will see you guys very soon again. Goodbye.
Bye for now.
To keep up to date with the latest GPVWC videos, click on the subscribe button, or check out more of our exciting sim racing action by choosing a video. For more information on the league, visit gpvwc.com.